Welcome to the Mind for Success podcast. I'm your host, Kimberly Lebbing, and I love seeing business professionals, leaders, and entrepreneurs have massive success in their businesses. Are you ready to reach a higher level in your business? Are you looking to rise to the top and break through the barriers that are holding you back? If this is you, join us on the Mind for Success podcast. Hello, and welcome to the Mind for Success podcast. I am your host, Kimberly Lebbing, and this week I'm going to talk about how high performers and business owners can explode their business with just a few changes in their mindset. So many times I talk to business owners, entrepreneurs, and I run across things like they're second guessing themselves. Their business or their day-to-day is filled with excuses and consistency. And mostly they're lacking clarity. They're lacking clarity in what they want to do and where they want to go. Maybe at some point they had a lot of clarity, had a big vision, but things have happened along the way that have really set them off. So things just feel off. They know this. And I want to give you some tools and some strategies that you can use to help you get back on track with all of that. So thank you again for listening today. A little bit about me. I'm a success and mindset coach. I've been coaching for over 10 years, and I have a lot of certifications in neuro-linguistic programming, specifically, and different coaching programs, over 800 hours of training. And so I know a thing or two about mindset, and I've been sharing this with business owners and entrepreneurs successfully for some time now. And it's been just a joy to see people and watch people move from being stuck into just really moving forward, stuck to unstoppable, and really, really moving forward and doing what they were destined to do, doing what they were designed to do. So the very first thing that I want to talk about is the fact that a lot of business owners and entrepreneurs don't really have their values aligned. And what I mean by that, and it's really easy to check what your values are, because you'll look at the list of the goals that they have for their business. And then if you ask to see their calendar or have them do a kind of a time check in on where they're spending their time, it's two different things. So what that means is their values are not aligning with their goals. And if they're not aligned subconsciously, you are really going to struggle. You're going to struggle with meeting your goals. This is where you see inconsistency with people. This is where you see procrastination with people, because what they want on the conscious level does not align with what's under the surface. So, quick example, you may really want to make $1 million, but you value that warm, cozy bed more. And so you don't get out of bed until, 9 o'clock. So that's a pretty drastic example, but that's what I mean. So the thing that you want in your business, there's something underlying that's keeping you from getting it and keeping you from staying consistent. And when you can get to the real reason, the real reason behind what's stopping you, it can make all the difference. And this is how we align our goals. This is also how we identify. So if this is an easy way. One of the first things I do with clients is we identify the problem. We get to the core. And one of the easiest ways to figure that out, or at least know where to start, is what areas in your business or in your life, this happens on both sides, they're connected, what areas are you struggling in? What areas do you see yourself procrastinating? What areas do you see yourself like really inconsistent? Those are the areas that we want to really dig in and get curious. Get curious. What is it about this thing? Is there fear there? Is there a fear of being seen? Is there a fear of, I don't know, something else? Maybe you want to scale your business. Is there a trust issue? Is there something keeping you from hiring the people out that you need to hire in order to grow? Could it be trust? So there's different reasons why we do the things that we do. Another example is people pleasing. This is something I see a lot. So I'll see someone's calendar and it'll be full, like overwhelmingly full. And then you ask the person, so, what's going on? They're like, I'm overwhelmed. I don't have time for this. And I don't have time for that. And I keep saying yes to things and I wish I wouldn't. And so they say yes to things and then they regret it. And what's happening there is there's some people pleasing going on, which has all kinds of other root causes behind the people pleasing. Maybe they didn't have a voice at some point, and this is their way of showing up. Maybe they're afraid they're going to let somebody down. Again, that's fear. Maybe there's some guilt. Maybe there's some underlying guilt going on. So there's all kinds of underlying reasons why we don't do the things that we need to do to get our business moving forward. And so look at your calendar, and does it align with your goals? Does it really align with your goals? And then start asking yourself some questions. Get curious about it. Get curious about what might be behind that, what might be the underlying problem, because when you can figure that part out, that's when you get to move forward and you can do something about it. Because what it does is it brings that subconscious behavior that maybe isn't serving you. It brings it up to the conscious level. And that's when you can do something about it, because we can't fix a problem that we're not aware of. Okay, so number 2, we want to get really crystal clear on your goals. So, and what those are. There's so many times where, and I used to do this myself, where we just go through life, our business, and we never set any goals. We never really think about what's going to be 3 years out, 5 years out, 10 years out. I think sometimes we're afraid to visualize things because maybe we haven't hit the goals in the past, or maybe something happened, like, you go through a divorce, or you have a bad business deal, or, some other type of thing that happens in your life that throws you through a tailspin. And then we just kind of lose track. So getting really crystal clear on your goals is huge. And one of the things that I like to do, especially this time of year, I actually do this every 12 weeks. But the first thing is to brainstorm what it is that you really want. Brainstorm those bigger things, make a huge list, then break it down into steps, do another brainstorm on all the things that would possibly get you to that bigger goal, and break it down into steps. I like doing 12 weeks. If you're looking for a good book on setting goals and getting into action, I use the 12-week year personally. I make my own little improvisations to it to go along with what I do. But it's an excellent book for goal writing. So break it down into steps. So I do 12 weeks, and then visualize. And this is key. Evaluate your progress. If you're not, so at the end of, each week, are you on track to hit what you want to hit? Evaluate every month, whatever you set, evaluate every week, every month, every 12 weeks. Evaluate where you are, and then you have the power to change course. You have the power to tweak the steps, to change them up, Do what works for you, but you have to be really crystal clear on what you want and keep it in front of you. Keep it in front of you. If you never see it, it's forgotten. It's so you want to keep it in front of you and keep it front of mind and have it put into a system so that you can work the system and you have complete control. So there's no right or wrong in it. And I think that's really important for people to remember. So like I said, the system that I have really grown to love is the 12-week year. It breaks it all down for you. What I've done with that is I've given the 12-week year superpowers with my NLP process, the neuro-linguistic programming. So if I run across a barrier, I'm able to remove it. And I have a very, very specific way of visualizing my goals and the activity that needs to happen to get me there. That's been very, very effective. But it's an excellent book. So I want to encourage you, if you haven't read it, to go check that out. And then number 3, break through those subconscious thought patterns. If you have never done or worked on yourself, now is the time. The beginning of the year, be aware what those are. I touched on this a little bit with the first step of aligning your values, but I want to go a little bit deeper this time. So breaking through those subconscious thought patterns, those barriers, those things, those hidden things, those things that are at the subconscious level, breaking through those is so vital. We are all born with filters. Like we have, from the moment of birth, we're being programmed. We're being programmed for different things, good or bad, both. I mean, there's no right or wrong in this. We are being programmed constantly from the time that we are born. We are being programmed, and even before, because guess what? We inherit, just like DNA, we inherit emotions and behaviors from our ancestors. So we are constantly being programmed. And whenever you're able to break this down and really work through these things, it can be life-changing because you have control. Our brains are totally like a computer. So if you think of it as, you might have a virus or two, and if you've never worked on, you have a laptop and you've never gotten the software that removes viruses, and you've never paid attention to that at all, over time, your computer's going to lag, your laptop's going to lag, it's going to slow down, it's going to, it's not going to work the way it was meant to work. However, once you remove those and you use that software, whatever that is, to remove the viruses, then you are able to move from, website to website really quickly, and everything works better. Our brains are the same way. So what I teach and what I do with my clients is a 3-step process. The very first step in breaking through those subconscious barriers is to identify what the problem is and going a little deeper. And I mentioned this in the first step, is just really digging in. Check your schedule, check your calendar, check where are you showing up, where are you not showing up. That's a good clue as to what the problem is, and then dig deeper. This is a question that I actually work with and ask clients, and that is, how is that a problem? So my problem is I want to grow my business and I haven't been able to do it. I don't know why. So how has that been a problem? Well, it's been a problem because, and you break that down. And what a lot of times happen in this case specifically, it may boil down to a trust problem. So maybe there's a trust problem there that you weren't even aware that you had, or maybe you were aware, but you just kind of stuffed it, swept it under the carpet and thought, I'll just keep going. So there's all kinds of reasons behind that, but identifying the problem is the very first step. Step number 2, and this could be a little bit more challenging, but I've never had a person that wasn't able to figure it out. So step 2 is identify where it started or what caused it. And when you're working with a subconscious mind, it is best to go way back. Ideally, because when these filters are formed in our head, it's before the age of 7. So if you can go back to before the age of 7, that is the best time to identify what that problem was or where it first occurred or what caused it. Because from that point, we move right into step 3, where we can fix it. We can reprogram what is going on up here. We can reprogram what happened. We can reframe it. So it's basically like taking what you learned from that thing and moving it forward with you. So then you leave the past in the past and you're able to move forward with confidence and clarity. And you're no longer frustrated. You're crystal clear on all of your goals and where you're going. It's life-changing, really, but it does take some work. So is it easier with someone guiding you? Absolutely. But can you do this on your own? Yes. Identify what the problem is, discover what caused it, and reframe it. And this takes, some time, some journaling, and some things to work on to help your brain see it in a new light, so that going forward, you're reaching your goals and exploding your business, which is ultimately what we want. So doing these things can affect, this is the cool thing about all this, is when you align your values with your goals and you get crystal clear on your goals and you break through any of those subconscious barriers or those patterns that have been holding you back. The cool thing is, yes, your business is going to explode, but what also happens is your personal life, your personal relationships get better. Your relationships with friends, spouses, kids all improve because they're all connected. You can't have one going well without the other one going well also. Well, yes, you can, because if you're all focused on your business and you're ignoring your personal life, then there's going to be a problem. But you can't, whenever you align both of those, they affect each other. So whenever you work on one, the other one will improve. And when you're really working at the core, so when you're focused on your business goals and there's still underlying reasons or causes for what's holding you back, it's going to affect your relationships too. So what's really cool about this whole entire process is that your relationships and your business are interconnected. And so when things in your business get better and you've aligned your values and you've gotten crystal clear on your goals and you've broken through those subconscious barriers and those thought patterns are changed and different than what they were before, your relationships get better. Your relationships with your kids, your relationships with your spouses, significant others, with your friends, your family, everything gets better when you do the inner work. When you work on yourself, all of it changes, not just one thing. So really quick, if this resonates with you, now it is December 2022, just for a point of reference, if you're listening now, and I have a group coming up in January of 2023 that is 9 weeks what's included in that is we're going to be setting goals. We're going to be removing barriers. We're going to be identifying those problems, taking them out, uploading new programs, and really helping you explode your business in 2023. And if this is something that interests you, you can go to my website. It's on there, KimberlyLebbing.com. And there's a button at the top about my group, and it'll take you to a sales page where you can check out the details of it. Thank you so much for listening today. I appreciate you.
Are you ready to break through the barriers that are holding you back and reach a higher level in your business in just 4 hours? Be sure to click the link today and join other high-achieving professionals that have worked with Kimberly Lebbing to accelerate their success.